I couldn't. I was crying. I was getting super emotional. I was like, oh my God, like I can't do this. But I wasn't actively going to church because it was hard.
Yeah.
And my dad was a big part of that experience.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too choked up. But yeah, so it took me 7 years to get back into a routine per se.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to episode 19. Today we have an amazing woman with us. She is a Latina founder. She is a girl's girl, and she is a voice in our community. She is here to tell us all about her journey as to who she is and how she got to where she's at today. She is the founder of Let's Vámonos network, Las Meras Meras Fest. Please help me welcome Desirée C. Klaus. Hey, I am super excited. We talked a little bit before we got started. We've met prior to this. We have a lot of mutuals, and I'm just excited to have you come on and share your story for yourself. You have a network of yourself where you get to interview other people. So I'm glad that I get to interview you today and give you the opportunity to share your story. So let's get to know you a little more.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Delila. I really appreciated it. I really appreciate you inviting me because I have mentioned in the past that, like, you know, I do share people's stories, but I also have my own story, right? And I've had to learn that over the last 4 or 5 years, like, hey, don't forget about your own story because you have one. And so I definitely appreciate it when people see me and talk to me and learn more because I don't share too much on the Let's Vámonos network as far as the interviews and stuff, right, of myself. I share a little bit, right? I'm always sharing bits and pieces, but it's never like my whole life story, right?
Yeah. And I admire that about you because that's one thing that I still struggle with. Like, even with here with us, I'm like, I don't want it to be about me. Like, I want it to be all about the guests and them sharing their story. And I have like Alec and like Deborah or just my friends tell me like, it's okay to share your stuff too. You know? Which I understand, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm learning to slowly let go of that and still be able to, not that I don't open up because I do, but the time that we do have, I'm like, I want to know everything about you. Who are you? What did you do to get to where you're at today? Like, I feel like everybody's testimony and just story should be shared because I can only imagine how many women in the community online and here in Houston look up to you and they're like, how does she do all of this, you know? And I think it's important to share what all that entails, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of people ask me specific things, right? So to kind of get into my journey, right, as far as how things got going, one of the things that women have asked me over the last couple of years is, where do I get my confidence?
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me that, and it actually took me a couple of years to kind of figure that out myself. I am a super spiritual person. I believe in the Lord Almighty. Like, you know, I am all about being connected in so many different ways. And so when I got that question asked, I literally had to dive in deep personally. And the Lord, he sent me a message.
We love that.
He sent me a message, and it was ironically through IG, y'all. And it said, God gives you all the confidence you need.
Yeah.
And it was in 2022, I think I saw that meme. And I was like, oh. And it wasn't just like, okay, I saw that meme and yes, I'm spiritual. Yes, I believe. It made me realize that over the lifespan, I am a young 41 years old. But I started speaking in public at the age of 9 at church.
I love that. Yes.
Okay. And it wasn't just singing. I did sing as well in choir, but I was speaking the word of the Lord at church. I went to Our Lady of Guadalupe Church in Baytown, Texas, which I still go to currently. And I saw my parents speaking the word. So I was like, well, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I thought that honestly, I could do a really good job. And I felt like it was like my opportunity to share my voice. And so my parents asked the people that were organized, hey, can our daughter at the time 9, can she do it? And they said yes. And so I did. And I practiced. And then I realized that because I had been doing that at such a young age, that I had been practicing over the last 30 plus years to talk to people, to talk in front of people, to ask the questions, even though I wasn't asking questions right at church, but I was still getting that confidence to just speak in front of people. And so something new, a part of my journey that I haven't really shared a lot. I've shared before previously in other interviews, but I tend to forget sometimes because it's just a part of me, right? So practicing since I was 9, y'all, like this doesn't happen overnight. Not that you can't gain confidence overnight, but it does take a lot. So that's where I kind of really, my foundation started, right?
I love that. That's so beautiful. Well, I applaud your mother for, having you in the Lord's home and, giving you that space to really see how they are taking on their life with the Lord. And then reflecting that onto you. I think that is just one of the biggest blessings. I applaud your mother for that. And your probably
my
parent,
dad.
your parents.
Both of my parents were big parts of my life in that.
And I also applaud you for glorifying the Lord in that and understanding and seeing that that's where your confidence comes from and that is your foundation. He is your foundation. So that just makes me so happy. I'm just so happy. The interview is already starting so good.
Because learning, becoming an entrepreneur, becoming who I am today, I've really had to do a lot of ask me the questions myself, why do I do what I'm doing? How do I do what I'm doing, right? Mentally, all of these things. And people started asking me, and I was just kind of like, oh, I just in my head, I was just like, I just do it, right? This is just who I am. But after really trying to dive in deep, I really said, it's important. I need to tell people what I've been doing the last 30 plus years of my life. Sang and used to read at church all the way up to my 30s.
Wow.
And then my dad passed away in 2017, which then kind of created this hiatus of church, I guess. Obviously I was still a believer, I was still, praying and talking to him, but I wasn't actively going to church because it was hard. And my dad was a big part of that experience. I don't want to get too choked up. But so it took me 7 years. Well, this will be the 7th year, but it took me almost 7 years to get back into a routine per se. So
you got this.
And so this year, we're now in 2024, I've been singing at church again. And my mom was like, are you sure you want to do this? Because I had tried previously to sing at another church to kind of get back into my creative part of myself. It's kind of where all my creativity started was singing. I couldn't. I was crying. I was getting super emotional. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. An opportunity showed up and my mom was like, a choir quit. They need a singer. They need somebody. And I told my mom, I'll do it, but I'll only do it once a month and I'll only do it if I do it by myself. So I actually sing by myself. And I sing also a cappella without any music. So
that's beautiful.
It has been a crazy part of my journey. It's the new part of my journey right now. 3 years ago when I was starting what I do now with Let's Vámonos Network, that wasn't even a thought in my head to oh, let me go back to singing at church. But now it is. And it has helped me so much. I love it. I love singing at church. I'm Catholic, so there is a part of the Mass where you go up to the altar and you sing a psalm, and it's a very specific part of the Mass. And to me, it's probably one of the most important parts of the Mass other than the sermon. And it's this is the message for the Mass. And I just love it. I really make it feel special because I feel like it's so special.
It is.
But so it's taken me a while to get here. And, even though I've been through those trials and tribulations with my dad passing and having to go through that, it's been the reason why as well, to get back to where I'm at right now.
That's so beautiful. I commend you because that isn't easy. And I love to see how the Lord has prepared you, because some people might think the stuff can be done so fast and so easily and quick fixes or quick solutions. And it's the way the Lord has been prepping you this whole time to where you're at now. It's so beautiful to see. So lots of congratulations to you. You're doing great things.
Thank you. Thank you.
One of my questions on here is how do you manage to do everything? But before we get to that, I do want you to talk a little bit about Let's Vámonos and your Las Meras Meras Fest. And tell us a little bit about those two and why you are a voice in the community. For the people that don't know, and then we can see how do you manage everything? It's crazy.
So Let's Vámonos Network has been going on for the last 4 years. It is a media company for small businesses, people in the community, advocacy work, entrepreneurship, all the things, right? Anybody that has a voice that wants to share their story or their journey. It has evolved. So Let's Vámonos Network has evolved because it was just Let's Vámonos, which was just the show, Let's Vámonos Live. But now it's evolved into a network where we have added also Mornings with Madre, which has been a really fun mother and daughter podcast that you didn't know you needed it, but you do need it. And then also working with other collaborators, other podcasts, not networks, but podcasts that are also trying to start up as well. So working with them. And then Las Meras Meras Fest is in celebration for National Latina Day, which started in 2021. I'm like trying to remember. 2022. 2022, yeah. So 2022 is when it started. And the way it started, and not a lot of people know this, is I was following Latina Day ATX, which is in Austin.
ATX, okay, yeah.
And I saw that they were having an event for National Latina Day. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. You know, I really want to be a part. Like, for sure, Houston's got to be doing something, right? We have tons of Latinas here.
A lot, yeah.
And nobody was doing anything.
Wow.
And I was like, that's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
And I really am not an event person or planner. Y'all, I am not that person that likes to put parties together either. I'm not that person.
That's a lot of work.
Right? But I am that person that likes to bring people together. So I was like, okay, let's do an event. Let's also add the panelists because I like to do the interviewing. And I want to create this event where it's not just about supporting the small businesses of Latinas, but also getting to hear voices from the community. I have to give my inspo to Bessie Martinez, who is with Austin Unidas Latinas. I'm sorry if I got it wrong, Bessie. I'm so sorry. But it's also, they're the ones that started their annual Latina Day festival. Okay. And so I said, well, if nobody's doing it here in Houston, maybe I'm the person that's supposed to be doing it. Mm-hmm. And since then, wow, it's kind of taken off. Mm-hmm. And I got local media news on me last year, which I was like, who did this? Because I was like really nervous. I was like, thank you. But wow, like that was just a huge blessing. And also just like a kind of a little bit of a wake up call too. Like, oh my God, people are seeing what I'm doing. Yeah. We're really excited about this year. So we want people to, not just Latinas to come out. We want the whole community to come out. Yeah. Las Meras Meras Fest is about supporting the Latina community and what we do.
Bringing that awareness. And
bringing that awareness. And not necessarily, you don't have to be Latina.
Yeah.
I think some people kind of like, oh, well, that's a Latina thing. No, it's a you thing too. Yes. If you're part of the community, you know, wherever part of your origin is from, you can come and celebrate with us. Yeah. We want you to.
Aww.
So yes.
Y'all heard it here.
Yes.
Come out. But I wanted to ask you about your network. You already touched a little bit about it, but I want to know what it was your favorite interview.
Oh man.
Yes. And then I have a follow-up question after that.
Oh my goodness. What was my favorite interview? Well, I mean, I'm going to be real honest. I don't really have favorites, right? Because I really curate every episode. So I pick people because things are happening and I'm watching these people, I'm seeing them. So I pick them because maybe they're, you know, venturing into a new venture with their business. So nothing's ever really random. It's very purposeful. Okay. To pick a favorite, oh man.
Or maybe like your favorite topic you discussed, or just an episode that just really stood out to you. Yeah. Maybe it was like the intention behind the
So I would have to start from the beginning, I guess. So I very eager at times, and I sometimes I put a little too much on my plate, and I'm like, oh, I can do this, right? Yeah. I always tell my mom, they tell us girls we can do anything, right? Yeah. And then we try to do everything, and then we're like, wait.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl, yeah. So one of my first panel interviews was for Mother's Day. It was back in 2022, I guess, I believe. And I had a panelist of moms that were entrepreneurs and also moms. So we called them mompreneurs. And
Oh,
it was a
yeah.
mompreneur episode. That was such a really wonderful episode because it was different women from different walks of life and different stages of motherhood. A new mom with a lot older kids.
Yeah.
And then, a mom trying to also navigate middle stage, which is like toddlers and 8-year-olds.
Yeah, early childhood.
Yeah. And I'm a mom and I have kids that are they're kids, right? I know what it's like to be a mom and to try to run a business. And so that was probably one of my fun episodes because it was really giving these ladies an opportunity to share. And it was like my second episode for Let's Vámonos. I was like, oh, I'm going to have this panel of women and it's going to be easy. It was so much fun, but it wasn't easy. It was extremely difficult. And I try not to, bite off too much than I can chew. But, sometimes we're like, oh, we can do this. Now, you go watch the episode. It's wonderful. It's everything that I wanted it to be. But in the process of me doing it, right, it was like, oh, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow. But I kept going.
Do you have a team?
So I do have a team. They are a little different than like a typical team though, right? My team is wonderful Adriana Fontana, who is my behind the scenes girl. She takes all my BTS footage.
Yeah.
And then when she can't, my mom does, because my mom is a great BTS person as well.
Yes.
One of her videos is the reason why I went viral back in 2022.
Ooh, we love that.
Yeah, and that was amazing. She helps me. Andrea helps me. And then I also have another collaborator that I work with. Her name's Leslie Gonzalez. She helps me with like just my accountability, I guess. Like, are you doing this? Like kind of that. And then also helping me with a little bit of the marketing strategy and trying to figure that out. But for the actual episodes, it's all me. It's all me. And it's always been all me. I've always done the editing. I've always done the curating of the episode. But now that we do live streaming, it's been a little bit easier. Yeah, I don't have to worry about, now do I would want a production? Of course, yes. But I do love live. I do love the aspects of being live. I feel like that's where I shine the best.
Yeah.
Like put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Like put me there because no telling what's gonna come out of my mouth. And two, it feels like it shows my real personality of who I am. I really try to channel that fun side of me because some people don't really get to see that on just the IG.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like,
That's true.
same old. But I read the room and people have told me they love the off the cuff and that kind of template, I guess you could say, for what I do.
Yeah.
But those are my team members. They're also on my website, so if you're ever interested in connecting with them, you can. I'm not greedy. I want them to get more opportunities.
Yeah.
And so I love making sure that those people that have those talents are able to share them with other people as well, not just me. Because
we love that.
Yes, because that's how not just I'm gonna grow, but I know they're gonna grow too.
Yes,
so
exactly.
yeah.
That's networking. Okay?
Yes.
My follow-up question was, who is somebody that you would love, like your dream interview?
Ooh, dream interview. Currently, it would probably be Eva Mendes.
Okay.
Eva Mendes has been icon to me because she has been in a role out of the spotlight. And I want to know everything she's been going through.
Yeah.
Her husband, Ryan Gosling, has been in the spotlight and she's been a mom. So we haven't really been able to hear from her.
Yeah.
Right? She's not out there doing a project, but like acting. She's not an active actor right now. And so I would love to hear from her because I feel like she is living a totally different life. And I want to know like how she feels about motherhood. How does she feel about all the things that she's also supporting her man, right? She's being a great supporter of him. And I feel like she's around my age, maybe a little bit older, maybe even, I don't know. But she's a more mature woman, and I would love to hear from her to be able to kind of get some insight of like what's going on in this woman's head. And also like, is she ever going to come back to the movies? Because I miss her.
Yeah.
I miss her. I would love to interview her.
Okay. You heard it here. What do you feel like has been your biggest sacrifice? Because I do see you like collaborating with locals, taking on, like being involved in different projects. Like I mentioned before, being a voice in the community. And I bet that comes with a lot of just a lot of work.
Yes.
So how do you manage all of that? And what do you feel like has been like your biggest sacrifice that you've had to take in order to accomplish all of that?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be real transparent. The biggest sacrifice is not having a steady income.
Okay, let's talk about it because yes, yes, it's. Okay.
I am a full-time entrepreneur. I hustle for everything that I do, and I'm also learning about business still. Like, I wouldn't even really, I mean, somebody might call me a businesswoman, but I'm still learning about business.
Yeah.
And so the biggest sacrifice is having a steady income. I was a 9-to-5er. I worked in the insurance business. I made decent money. I had, my own, means of living, right?
Yeah.
Now I've literally had to change my whole concept of like money management and sacrificing, some of my wants,
Yeah.
some of my, not necessarily needs, because I feel like, you have to take care of yourself, right? You still have to maintain that, but just sacrificing those wants. So that's probably the biggest sacrifice. All the other things as far as managing family still first.
Yes.
So I don't typically sacrifice my time away from my family unless it's like I have to.
Yeah.
So like some of y'all will see my kids with me at the markets and at the
Yeah.
events. Like, and even though they don't want to be there, I'm like, no, you're coming. You're coming with me.
Yeah.
Even if I'm working the event or whatever, like you're coming with me because I want them to see what I'm doing, and I want them to understand that it's, there's a purpose. They're kids right now, so they still don't understand, but I want them to see that I'm doing something bigger for not just me, it's for the whole community.
Yeah.
And so family still always comes first. I really try to prioritize them as far as I take my kids to school every morning. I pick them up almost every day. If not, my mom's got my back, right? But at the same time, I really try to be there for them, because that's kind of one of the reasons why I became an entrepreneur, is I wanted to be more accessible to them, to be able to be there for them as well.
Yeah. And I know when they get older, they're going to learn to appreciate that.
Yeah,
they're going to take all those memories with them. Like, I was my mom at the markets. And I'm super big like that. I don't have kids, but everybody knows, like my brother and sister, I have them with me all the time. I take them to church. They're with me like mostly every weekend. Like, I love being able to expose them to all of those things, and every project that I take on. They've even been at meetings with like me and Alec at like a coffee shop. Yeah. And they sit there, and to them right now, they probably don't understand it, but I want them to, even if that small opportunity of how to navigate a meeting, or how to set something up, or how to start a project, or how to go after something that you're really passionate about looks like, because I didn't have that growing up. So for me, it's a big deal that they're there. Yeah. And then to them, it's probably like their norm. Like, oh, my sister's just taking on something else. Yeah. But when they get older, they'll learn to appreciate that.
Yeah. It's actually also been inspiring for my oldest son. So my oldest son, a lot of people might not know this, but he has his own podcast.
Oh, okay. What's his podcast? Go ahead, shout him out.
Yeah. So his podcast is called Max Checks the Stats, and it's a sports analyst podcast.
Wow.
So he talks about the stats, right? Yeah. The sports stats. And it's his own version of podcast, his own content, all of those things. And so I was really happy about him wanting to do that, because not everybody's like me, right? That wants to be the kid that goes speaks up at church, right? My sons aren't going to do that, but he is still learning how to use his voice.
Beautiful.
And there are so many ways to use your voice. Yeah. And I think kids, specifically Latino kids, he is half white, but Latino kids need to learn how to do that at a young age, because when you don't, then you're not going to be able to speak up when you need to.
Right.
It's a learning process for him. And it's actually crazy. I've seen him grow just in his few episodes, being comfortable to just talk. Yeah. People don't understand how important that is to talk. It's a skill. You have to learn how to do it. It's not something, maybe some people it might come naturally, right? But others, they do have to practice. And so we've talked about his episodes, like, well, what did you think? Or how did you feel? And so it's a growing process. So I love that he's inspired as well with what I'm doing.
Beautiful. Okay, well, we are not done chatting, but we are going to move on to a different segment.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have a segment that's called Leave a Message at the Beep, where the guest before you left you a message.
Oh, okay.
And you're going to get to hear it.
Okay.
And then you get to leave an inspiring message for the next guest, and she's going to get to hear it, and it just keeps going from there.
So cool.
So that's why the phone is there.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm going to let you listen to the message. And granted, I was not supposed to say her name. So when I said it earlier, I was like, oh gosh, I said her name. But Deb she's opening the 3rd season.
Okay.
So she's the one that got to leave you a message.
Okay,
yeah,
my
so
amiga.
you're going to get to hear it. And I know you guys know each other.
Yes.
Hi, beautiful. My name is Deborah, and from Woman to Woman, I want to tell you to not question your gift. You're beautiful, you're talented, and don't give up. As hard as it is, don't give up because it's going to be worth the journey, and I can't wait to see what you do. Bye.
So that's the message that Deborah left you. Now you're going to get to leave a message, not to put you on the spot, but
Right.
you're going to get to leave a message for the next guest.
Okay.
For her to hear. And she's going to love it. So.
Oh, I'm excited. Thank you, Deborah. It was a great message, and it's definitely something I needed to hear.
So we're going to move on to our next segment.
Okay.
Where we're going to transition to another part of the shop.
Okay.
And we're going to get to build a bouquet for you.
Oh my goodness. Build a bouquet.
Yes, you're going to get to build your own bouquet.
Oh my goodness.
So we're going to transition.
All right. And
So I want you to tell us where the name came from. First, we're going to get started on Desiree's bouquet. So she's going to get to pick out the paper back here. And then once we get back over here, she's going to tell us exactly how the name came about. Okay?
all right.
Oh, okay. So from here, you get to pick your greenery. We usually start with the greenery, and then you can pick the flowers. And as you're picking that out, let us know how the name came about.
Okay. How Let's Vámonos came about.
Yes.
So Let's Vámonos came about with my very first unofficial interview, which was with a Latina wrestler named Thunder Rosa.
Wow.
And she gave me 10 minutes of her time, which I really appreciated. And let's see, I like this one right here. Okay. I think that's good. A little bit of everything. And so she gave me 10 minutes of her time. We're going to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay. And at the end of the interview, I really wanted to say something, like a sign off, right? I didn't know what to say though, and I wanted something to be kind of like specific to me or who I am. And so I am Latina. I am not bilingual, but I do speak Spanish every once in a while, Spanglish. And I grew up in a Spanglish home. And one of those things that my dad would say all the time is, "Les vámonos," when we would be trying to leave for church.
Yeah.
Let's go. We're running late. We were never running late, y'all. We were never running late.
So I like to tell you.
Yes.
At the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the interview ended. She gave me her time, which I really appreciated. And I said, "Les vámonos." And that is literally how I came up with the name of Let's Vámonos.
Beautiful.
And she inspired something at that point in time that I didn't even know.
Wow.
I didn't even know that I was going to use Let's Vámonos for anything.
Yeah.
It just, once it hit, I was like, this is what the name of my show should be.
Yeah.
And that's how it came about. So yeah, very serendipitous, very spontaneous, like very off the cuff.
Yeah.
But, because I believe in all these things, those words were meant to come out of my mouth at that time. She was about to go wrestle with some girl. So let's go, right?
Yeah,
let's go.
That's so funny because that's usually how the best things come about.
Yeah.
And it's so authentic to you.
Yeah.
It's tied in back with your dad,
Yeah.
which is, like I said in the beginning, the way God just orchestrates everything
Yes.
is so beautiful.
Yes.
So I'm glad that he was there through the whole process of God, preparing you, and now he gets to watch you, and he's still a part of everything that you're doing.
Oh, yes.
So that's so beautiful.
Yes. Thank you so much for these flowers. So pretty. How perfect. Look at that.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
I have a surprise for you.
Oh, yes. More surprises? I'm already surprised.
I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
This season we got to collaborate with a couple of locals that sponsored gifts for you.
Oh my goodness.
So the biggest thing, our goal here on Bloom is giving local women their flowers as they come on and tell their story, and we shine a light on just everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
And this season we wanted to take it a little different and also have local businesses and brands to be able to showcase their products or services on here. And with that, they got to gift some of those to the guests.
wow.
So you might not know some of these.
Okay.
So we'll start here. Well, we'll start with this one.
Oh my goodness.
Scents by Alma.
Yes.
You know her.
I know her. I have her
Yes.
candles in my house already.
It's so funny because she gave them to me and they're in my room. And when I walk into my room, I don't have to light them up for them to smell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they smell so good.
Strawberry leather.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, yes. I have the pan dulce one.
Ooh, pan dulce.
Yes, I have that one.
I love how she's just so on brand. So Latina.
Yes.
I love that.
Thank
and
you.
You're welcome. And then here we have, I have a couple gift cards in there for you. You can look through those, but I wanted to shine light on these two jewelry brands that we have. We have Soleil, and then we also have Princess Things.
Okay.
So I wanted to shine light on these two jewelry lines. They are both women owned, and they are beautiful.
These are so pretty. They're hearts.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So you have a lot of goodies to take home with you.
Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm definitely being, what is it? Like, pampered. Yes. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you to our sponsors for this season. Yes. We're going to shine light on them and their businesses and just to more networking, more community involvement, and more just being girls,
yes.
and growing within the community. But yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yes, thank you to all these wonderful small businesses. We definitely love that.
Yes. So let us know what you brought with you today.
I have brought something today. So you mentioned about bringing something if I wanted to, right?
Yes.
So as y'all know, I'm a big small business supporter. I'm wearing all small business things. This jacket's actually by by Power Women, and the shirt's actually by another organization, and these earrings are actually by Meras HTX. So like y'all, I don't talk the talk, I walk the walk.
Yes.
And I love that. I love, supporting the community. But this bag, y'all, I've been like obsessed. And I was like, I have to share this. I have to share this beautiful handbag. It's handmade. It's by Not So Bad. And you're gonna see me like this, literally like this, walking around.
So beautiful.
Because it's just so nice, and I just am so amazed by her talents and her gifts. And so it's definitely gonna be something you're gonna see with me on all the photo shoots and all the things, but I just wanted to shout her out because she's amazing. Her name's Jennifer, and I'm sure she would love to hear from y'all and see. You can see her at local markets all over the Houston area, and then you can also follow her on IG or also on her just locally as well. So
thank you. I know she's gonna be so happy for
yes, I'm just like so impressed. This isn't my first bag I bought from her. This is actually I have a couple of different other ones. So we're supporters of the handmade community, the handmade items community, and small business community, and so
we are.
Yes, and it's just important. So when you said, "Hey, you want to bring anything?" I was like, "Yeah, bring it back."
She's gonna love that. She's gonna love that. I can't wait to meet her in person.
Yes,
we were DMing not so long ago, so
yeah.
I love being able to build those relationships that are online. In real life.
Yes, yes.
But yes, thank you for bringing that.
Of course, yeah. So y'all are gonna see this. Literally, I'm gonna be walking like this.
My first.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on today. Yes. Please let us know what's to come and where we can find you.
So what's to come? Obviously, Meras Meras Fest is going to be this August 17th through the 18th. And what was the other question?
Where can we find you?
Where can you find me? You can find me on IG at Vámonos or on Facebook as well. But really, you want to find me on my website. My website is www.letsvamonos.com. That's where you're going to be able to find all the things that I've been working on over the last 4 years. Old episodes, new episodes, my lives, the Meras Meras Fest from the last 2 years, and then all the partnerships and collaborations that I've done as well. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I want you to know that I'm here to collaborate in any way or help you in any way that I can.
Yes.
I pray that you get more blessings and abundance in everything that you're doing and every project that you take on, and that Lord keeps His hand on you and everything you take on.
Gives me some more patience.
Yes. So just congratulations.
I appreciate it.
I hope this relationship is not just for the podcast, and it keeps going. And I'm here any way I can.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Delila.